Spendthrift Farm Stallions. First 2-year-olds on the track by Golden Sense, Cross Traffic, It's My Lucky Day, Can the Man, and Shaking It Up, including Golden Sense's stakes winner Pickett, a dominant 9-length winner in the $75,000 DS Shine Young Futurity at Evangeline. Spendthrift, the Breeders' Farm.
Hi everybody, Dan Illman along with Nicole Russo, and welcome to Spa Babies, presented by Spendthrift Farm. Let's take a look at the field for Saturday's Spa Baby race. Spendthrift represented by 2 runners, the 3 Most Mischief, the 8 You Are Not So Bad, both by Spendthrift Stallion into Mischief. We'll take this field in post-position order, beginning with the number 1, Claytnthelionheart. This is a son of Declaration of War. What an interesting pedigree, Nicole. The dam's a half to Appealing Zophie, who I believe won the Grade 1 Spinaway at Saratoga as a 2-year-old sprinting. She's the dam of Taproot, who won the Belmont Stakes going 1.5 miles. So there's a lot of everything in this pedigree.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, kind of the combination of the pedigree. You have Declaration of War on top, who, you know, he needed some time to find his best stride. You know, did most of his work on turf in Europe, but then came over here and ran so well in the Breeders' Cup Classic, of course. Not out of the realm of possibility for him to sire good dirt runners. We've already seen a couple of them, although not necessarily his 2-year-old first-time starters. But he is from the family of horses like Union Rags, so he does have a bit of a dirt pedigree behind him, and of course dirt on the bottom of this family as well, with that precocity from Appealing Zophie's side of the family. So really an interesting kind of mix here.
$80,000 yearling is going to have to deal with an intimidating inside post position. Another horse with a nice mix in the pedigree is the 2. That's Code of Honor by the First Crop Stallion, the beautifully bred Noble Mission. When you think Noble Mission, when you think of Noble Mission's family, you think turf. But this dam was a Grade 3 stakes winning dirt sprinter. She won her career debut. And this dam has already thrown Big League, who was a juvenile graded stakes place sprinter who won his 2-year-old debut. So turf and stamina on top of speed and dirt.
Yeah, but, you know, Noble Mission, I really do expect these horses to get better with age, with distance, with experience. He was a useful horse early on, but then he really blossomed as an older horse. He was a multiple Group 1 winner at age 5. Now standing in Kentucky, the son of Galileo, as you mentioned, full brother to Frankel, who's been, you know, outstanding with his horses, you know, including early on. But Frankel was a lot more precocious himself than Noble Mission. It's kind of interesting how you get so many types from the same family.
The number 3 is Most Mischief, one of 2 in here, sired by Spendthrift Stallion into Mischief, a very expensive buyback in April after breezing a furlong in 10-2. It's too early to give up on Most Mischief. I know he's run twice. He's finished 3rd, a non-threatening 3rd in both occasions, but this horse has a little bit of pedigree, and most of his half-siblings, the stakes-winning ones, they were fast and they were precocious.
Yeah, very much so. And of course, you know, you have Into Mischief, who's one of the nation's leading juvenile sire on top of an elusive quality mare. And I certainly think speed and dirt speed. Most Mischief, definitely too early to give up on. As you mentioned, an unthreatening 3rd in both outings, but had trouble in both of those, was in tight and steadied on debut, came back at Saratoga, so has a race over the track, and was bumped at the break and maybe passed a horse or 2 late, finishing well back behind Nitrous. I haven't given up on this one just yet.
I think with an alert break, we'll see a lot more speed. His jockey, Kendrick Carmouche, is very aggressive, and if Most Mischief breaks cleanly from the gates, I think we'll see him up close. The 4 Kentucky Wildcat just has a beautiful pedigree. This is a Godolphin homebred by leading stallion Tappet, according to the exclusive buyer sire ratings available on drf.com/breeding. Tappet has 35 horses, individual horses that have earned buyer speed figures or of 90 or greater this year. And talk about better lucky. Not only was she a multiple Grade 1 stakes winning turf router, not only did she win her 2-year-old debut, but she also placed in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf. This 3rd dam won the Breeders' Cup Sprint, Desert Stormer. A lot of pedigree for Kentucky Wildcat.
Very much so. And yeah, Better Lucky, kind of gets more attention for what she did on turf, rightfully so. But she finished a close second to champion Judy the Beauty in the filly and mare sprint. And she was bred to be a dirt sprinter by Ghost Sapper out of Sahara Gold. This is her first foal, but a couple of her half sisters are already stakes producers from that very good line of Desert Stormer.
Tom Albertrani has not had good luck with first-time starters at Saratoga over the past 5 years. 0 for 37 in maiden special weight dirt sprints. But he has had a lot of those horses hit the board at nice prices, and perhaps that will be the case with the 4 Kentucky Wildcat, arguably the horse that's the best bred in this race. The 5 is Wild Medagliad'oro. We always say experience counts, and we're going to take a look at Wild Medagliad'oro's career debut. I thought it was an excellent learning debut. He was taken down inside where he took a lot of dirt in his face, and now he is swinging widest, turning into the stretch. He has a long way to come with 3/16 of a mile to go, but he really punches it in late to finish a good second.
Yeah, definitely. And, I think there are some nice horses that are going to come out of this race, including the third place finisher from the Chad Brown barn, who he finished in front of. This was a horse where when we talked about him a couple weeks ago before this debut, who I think we both thought he might want some more distance. He might benefit from the experience. And he's definitely a candidate to move forward here. I still think 6 furlongs is going to be a little short for him. This cross of Medagliad'oro over Distorted Humor, responsible for some nice route runners like multiple Grade 1 winner Elate. But I definitely think that this colt is a big candidate to move forward.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he moves forward. I wouldn't be surprised if he runs his last race or improves slightly. He wins. You make a very good point about the 6 furlongs being a little bit short. I'd like to see him sharper coming out of the gate this time around. Again, a good learning debut, climbing early, in behind horses, took dirt. Once clear in the stretch, came with a good run. It's apparent he has talent. The 6 is Firery Tale. This is a first-time starter by Tale of Acadi, who does very, very well with 2-year-old first-time starters. He wins 15% of the time with those horses, and this dam is thrown Tale of Fire by Tale of Acadi, who won first out as a 2-year-old. This dam's also a half to a Grade 1 stakes winning turf router, so there's a nice pedigree here. And Barclay Tag does sneaky well with first-time starters at Saratoga. I'm going to give Firery Tale a little bit of a look.
Yeah, Barclay Tag, is having a really good meet this year at Saratoga, especially. I just look at this horse and I see that, the dam one routing on synthetic. It's the family of Grade 1 winner on turf, internally flawless. I do wonder if this one might want a different surface in the future.
The number 7 is Fed Fever, who's been through the auction ring several times. He most recently a $280,000 purchase in May. This is from the first crop of Fed Biz, and there's a lot of sprint and precocity in this female family. The dam, a half to 5-star mama, a 2-year-old debut winner that would go on to become a multiple stakes winning dirt sprinter. The second dam, a full to the graded stakes winning dirt sprinter England's Rose. Your opinions on the Fed Bizes thus far?
I kind of think he's going to be a sneaky good freshman sire. He's got a couple of winners early on already. He got better, sort of into his 3-year-old, 4-year-old year. So I'm wondering if these horses are going to develop on that pattern as well. But Fedbiz just bred to be a sire by Giants Causeway. He's from the female family of Pulpit and Scat Daddy, both outstanding sires, of course. He was a Grade 2 winner at 7 furlongs and a mile and a 16th, so sort of that middle distance range. So many great sires in American history have shown kind of that elongated sprint or miler type speed. He set track records at both those distances, ran well on a number of surfaces. He just absolutely is a beast of a physical to look at, and is really passing good physicals onto his offspring. I'm pretty high on him.
This horse took some money in his debut and then was parked very, very wide. He has the experience under his belt, and I like that recent 5-furlong workout for trainer George Weaver. But we do have a negative formulator fact for that excellent trainer. 2-year-old second-time starters in dirt sprints over the past 5 years, only 1 for 27, a 37-cent return on investment. The number 8 is You Are Not So Bad by Spendthrift stallion Into Mischief, a $210,000 2-year-old in training purchase. This one, the dam was a nice horse, an older debut winner, won 5 races on turf and synthetic, and when going down the bottom of this female family, I do see a lot of turf and synthetic. I wonder if maybe You Are Not So Bad will improve with a little distance and a surface switch down the road.
That's the impression I get from this one as well. There is precocity on both sides of the family. Of course, Into Mischief, we've mentioned, is a leading juvenile sire. This is the family of Arch Support, who was graded placed on turf as a 2-year-old. But yeah, I do wonder if this one will do better on a different surface. Of course, Into Mischief, so versatile. And, the dam didn't start till age 4.
The number 9 is Pantherus Leo, going out for the great Wayne Lucas. This one has been in steady training since late April in Kentucky. By Discreet Cat, 8% winners with 2-year-old first-time starters. The 4th dam, Weekend Surprise. So this is the family of the great AP Indy. I wouldn't be surprised, even with the Discreet Cat on top, if this horse does better at slightly longer distances.
I think so as well. The dams have to a stakes winning router on turf. You mentioned, of course, AP Indy. This also the family of Summer Squall. Both of those, long-winded classic sires themselves. And yeah, this one strikes me as a little bit more of a distance candidate.
And Mr. Lucas often gives these kind of horses a race or two, as we see with this formulator fact over the past 5 years with 2-year-old debut runners in maiden special weight dirt sprints at Saratoga, 0 for 25. None have hit the board. The number 10 is Quick Entry, and this is going to be a sentimental choice for many because a lot of folks want to see Mary Lou Whitney in the winner's circle at Saratoga. This is a Mary Lou Whitney homebred by point of entry who does well with 2-year-old first-time starters, 17% winners despite being mostly known for his turf ability, and this dam has thrown the solid late-running sprinter Viva Majorca. The dam also won sprinting. There are a couple of interesting workouts to note in a company with older Ian Wilkes trained runners like Mr. Cub and Indigo Yankee. I think Quick Entry, even though Ian Wilkes is not known for popping first time out, I think he wants to win one for Mrs. Whitney, and I think she's going to run well.
Yeah, I noticed that work tab as well. As we said, Ian Wilkes doesn't usually have them cranked up to win early, likes to let them develop a little, but this one is coming off such a sharp work and maybe could work out a nice outside trip. You mentioned half-sibling Viva Majorca, who is sort of a elongated sprint, late closing sprint type. The dam one sprinting. This is the family of some nice stakes horses, including Kentucky Oaks winner Sun and Snow. So yeah, a lot of family behind this one.
Race number 6 at Saratoga, our Spa Baby race presented by Spendthrift. Where are you going?
Like I said, I haven't quite given up on Most Mischief. I do think that one can improve if he can work out a clean trip down toward the inside there. Behind him, I will use Quick Entry, who we just discussed. I think will work out a nice trip from that outside post. I'm wondering how much pace he's going to have to run into. And then, definitely circling to continue to watch Wild Medagliad'oro and Kentucky Wildcat. As I mentioned, this might still be a little bit short for Wild Medagliad'oro, but I do think he's going to take a step forward. And Kentucky Wildcat, maybe not a win early type, but wow, with that pedigree, I do think he's got to turn into something.
I was quite taken with Wild Medagliad'oro's debut, and like you, I think several horses out of that race are going to be okay. I'm with you that the 6 furlongs might be short, but if he takes a slight step forward with that experience under his girth, I think he gets it done in our Spa Baby race, and I would use him over the 10, Quick Entry, and the 6, Firery Tale for Barclay Tag in our Saturday Spa Baby race, our coverage presented by Spendthrift Farm.